Hello and welcome back to Factorio and Space Age. We have some experimentation to do. That being said, actually want to make legendary fusion reactor. And I don't know, legendary tungsten and superconductors, if we have that here. No, we don't. So we need legendary superconductor. We need legendary tungsten as well. So Kilo Express kinda needs this. But we'll accept them in 50 increments. And we also need this. But we'll also accept them in 50 increments. Right. And then Aquilo will be importing those. And that's kind of what we need, right? That's gonna be legendary fusion reactor. That's gonna be legendary fusion generator. This gonna be when this is less than 2. That's gonna be when this is less than 1. So you guys can kinda... all this shit. Oh. That's a lot of these. Or did we empty that out completely? Not completely. But that's quite emptied out. So we're gonna start making some experiments with ship design. I'm going to rebuild this guy. Because obviously the problem with this one is that it's very wide. And it's very, very slow. Like even if we put all the engines here, we're capping out at around 200. And this is like huge fuel consumption. So I wanted to try and make a taller ship. Kind of like we've done in the past. Like this is fairly tall, this is pretty fast. With only a couple of engines actually. So this is only 4 engines. And yet we are reaching like 300, right? So I want to see if we can build a bit of a taller ship. Here. Well, we need a legendary fusion reactor. I don't know if we actually need that. Or not. Or is that mega overkill? I actually don't know. I think we're gonna try with a legendary fusion reactor and see how it goes. And then we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So, we're waiting for this. This is now 22. And not really doing anything interesting, right? On Gleba, we we are kinda farming this at a quite high rate at the moment. $31K carbon. I don't know. Oh, okay. Apparently, there's like 6, 12. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, there's 2K in some of this. Whatever. Actually didn't think that we'd get that many here, but it's fine. So one of the things that we kinda probably want to increase is this. So you know what? I had a really interesting idea recently. On how to possibly improve this design. So one of the things that we're like doing here, right? And that can become a problem is if this stacks up fully, right? So I was thinking, yeah, if I take this, I will just place that there for now. And I'll take this. So because this is there we go. And then we'll do this. Say we limit this to 2 stacks in here, yeah? And then we'll put a new one here. So this is pretty expandable, right? And then we'll put the output here. To go back into the thing. Right? So if we get legendary somehow here, then we'll take that and come back. Now the question here is, we probably want to loop this guy back into here. Just in case these get full. And then this part here is also expandable. And then this part is also expandable. So we can do this, right? Without any like major issues. Well, we can put that there for now. Then we can do this. But with green instead. And we can do a nice loop there as well. And then we'll send that through. And then we'll put the accidentally crafted legendary belts in there. We can probably kill that off. Okay, cool. We can put that there. Okay. Then we'll do the blue one. And the blue one. Okay, it's actually easier if we do that. Although technically, we already know that this is gonna be the thing, right? Okay, and the last one is gonna be the epic stuff, yeah. And then here we'll have the accidental... Holy fuck. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We don't need this anymore. I'm just gonna keep recycling so that we get the legendary materials, yeah? That's it. Because there's no way. There's no way. Okay. There we go. We'll do that. Man, that's 343. There's no way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna recycle that. I'd rather get the carbon fiber out of that than more belts. This is gonna be epic. It's gonna be epic. That's a lot of things, dude. But that's fine. This is obviously way overkill, but I think this theory kinda works, right? So how are we doing on a kilo? We did get some of these things, but not exactly everything, yeah? Okay, let's go back to Volcanus and see if we can get that. Okay. We'll have some legendary carbon fiber. We have some epic carbon fiber, and we have some blue. And then we have some blue chips. We have some legendary ones. And that's about it. So this setup here avoids the problem that we've found here. This chest is just getting mega full, and I don't have any good way of like, without using combinators, we can't really regulate that in a very good manner. And it's the same with these things. Yeah, I need a rebuild of this as well. Man, that's also a lot of them. That's kind of big oof. That's kind of big oof. I'm gonna have to try and figure out something. That's another thing that's on our to-do list. Either we make a moving starship that constructs the this, or we make a platform for a kilo, which I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make a platform for a kilo that only specializes in these quantum processors, because I'm really, really tired of doing that. The thing is, around a kilo, we can actually get these ones. So we're gonna need rocket defense there. I don't know how well that's gonna work, but it should be fine. You are stopped at novice. You are kinda chilling. Can probably send you back, right? Okay. Alright, we're vendoring. Or not vendoring. We're venting the Prometheum science here. Okay. Well, that's a lot of that. Which means that we could technically probably make railguns. Pretty well at this point, right? We already have a lot of that. Okay. Interesting. So, let's take a look at this. So, the things that I want to achieve. The thing that I want to achieve with this ship, or with this design, I want to test a theory that building taller, so we have more engines per width, makes the ship faster. And this ship is really due for a redesign. Poor guy. Ideally, yeah, we're gonna do. It's pretty fine. We'll have enough space here to do this. I apologize for being stuck in like spaceship design hell, but it is what it is, kinda. Okay. I want to strip down to this. We're also gonna strip down to... Yeah, we're just gonna remove that. Okay. So one of the things I kind of want to go from is I want to be able to do this. I don't want to... Ideally, I don't really want any belts. So we could do this, you know? And then we need to find a good solution for this. Which is this thing. That's not gonna happen. Could maybe do this, actually. And we'll do some pipe there. And then we'll load that up there. So technically, this probably works, right? I don't really see any reason for this not to work. So that's as... This is as compact as we can probably make it, right? And this is kinda on the same level, right? So if we do... let's take a look at some legendary engine units. Well, so... We cannot start there, no? We'd have to do this, right? And this should be, what, 7? Okay, I think that's probably pretty good, you know? You can do that. You can do this. Right. That should also be fine, right? Yeah, we don't have any solar power. Gonna have to do this to kickstart that. So if we're looking for... what was I thinking? Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Chemical plant of legendary quality. Go kind of close to here, yeah. So this is kind of what we need, right? Can we do... Now the question... Now I'm getting into like really specific stuff. Let's say we do this, okay? You both need calcite, right? We can even do stack inserter here, right? But we do that. And then we do an ice kind of deal, right? But how do I know if this is full with one thing or not? I don't know if we can do that. How would we know if the ice is full or if the calcite is full and this is unable to work? Right? So I don't think we can do this, yeah? Let me grab this guy. Okay. So you'll put your asteroid back to the thing. And then you'll take the ice. And throw that away, right? Okay. Yeah, this is not that bad. You will take the calcite and throw that away. Right. So here's the problem with this setup, right? We're gonna need this. You're gonna take copper and throw it away. Let's see how compact we can make this. Right? And then you are gonna take sulfur. Throw that away. Okay. So all the time here we're working with direct insertion, which is great. We have some trash here. We'll have some trash here. How can we make this more compact? Is the question. Okay. We'll take... If we take this, we'll take that. Okay. I don't know if this becomes more compact, but it feels pretty decent, yeah? If we do this, then... Okay. That's not too bad. That's actually not too bad, right? Now, the question here is, we'll load this up with some cray-cray modules here. I think we probably want to do this, yeah? So I want to see how much we can make. Let's see here. Let's pump that in there. We can. So this is gonna make 360. Which is absolutely not enough, by the way. Okay, and if I then take this, and I'll be like, okay, We're gonna try one module here and see how much we get. We might need another one. Maybe here. This 360 is not much. This is a legendary chemical plant, right? Okay, we can dump this back to the surface. That should be fine. We'll keep going with this productivity research here. Okay, so now suddenly we're getting something ridiculous, like 4.4k. Which is enough for like 10 engines. We can kind of fit this in here, yeah? Which is completely fine. And you're gonna trash anything that you don't want for fuel, right? Well, we can remove this. And we'll do something like this. I'm sure this can be made way more compact than it is. But this is more for like testing a theory than anything else, right? Okay. So far, so good. We want explosives, right? I think this here is the... And here is where we kinda start getting into something that's a bit annoying. Because for explosives... I don't think we can do direct insertion, right? Because that gets too complicated. And let's say I don't think we want red ammo. I think the complexity of that is too annoying. I think we stick with rocket and firearm magazine. I'm pretty confident that we can do that. Wait, let me do something like this, you know? This here is gonna make a ton of ammo, right? Like a ton. if we then do this as well, and we do stack, stack, we do this as well. That's 5 rockets per second. Let me grab my trusty calculator. I should be knowing these things in my head by now. 4.68 times 60. That's 280 rockets per minute. I'd be inclined to do this. And say that, okay, we can probably get away with this, right? I'd even be like, okay, we can maybe do this. So I'm thinking that this is gonna be our iron supply. Right? We don't really need to do any of that right now. This is gonna be the iron supply, right? And this is gonna be calcite and iron. Well, we can just do this. We don't need that at all. So this is gonna be iron, right? There's really no way, or no need, to complicate this further than doing this and doing this. Right? And that's gonna be trash, right? Iron calcite is what you need. And that's what you're gonna get there as well. We can even do stacky boys there. That doesn't matter too much. We can do stacky boys there as well. So far so good. Now we need to think of how we do explosives. The problem with explosives is we'll need something like this. Right? Ideally, we'd do that in connection to this. I think this needs like 10 per second. Okay. Unfortunately, this needs both of these. Which is weird. You need 153. Which is completely insane. So we're gonna have to cram this with a couple of inserters, probably. Like that. Maybe that's gonna be fine. some legendary boys coming in there. So this here is not remotely close to what we need, right? We need 20 per second, yeah. Which is not great. It's not as bad as I thought. That should be fine. You need 4 something. That should be fine, but in connection to this, we need this. Okay. That's not so bad. We can also do this. Probably. Okay. It's a bit cringe. We'll do that. This also kind of works. I don't think that works. But this definitely works, okay? Gonna take this, place that up here. We're gonna take... Gonna take this. See if we can do something like this with it. So I wanted to build taller, right? I think we do this, yeah. We'll put that in there. Cool. This here is gonna be ejection from the ship. Can trim this probably. This here is pretty poorly used space. Let's do this. Okay, now I'm gonna really annoy myself by doing this probably. Question is, can we do this? We'd get blue in there, yeah? Like that. We could get red there. Okay, red is gonna go into that. Because then we're trimming kind of here as well, right? We wanted to try and have a slim boy here. This here, also ejection. We don't really need this part either. This is 6 engines. I don't think it's getting any slimmer than this, though. I really don't think it's getting any slimmer than that. Okay. So far so good. We'll have the stuff there coming in there. So now we need to we will need to get the iron in here somehow. The iron needs to go here. Which is fine. Right. And then we need to start thinking about turrets. This is pretty slim though. If we are thinking something like this. What are the options for gun turrets here? Could do this. It's not a... That's actually not a terrible idea. too shabby, actually. Now the question is, the asteroid catching mechanism that we're gonna have here. I think I want to try, but I don't know if this is gonna be possible. Okay. I want to try this. Okay. And I think we do this. This is gonna be... I'm gonna try a completely different approach this time. We can go there, probably, yeah. No, I'd like that to be the other way around, yeah. We'll do that. We do this. And this is gonna be carbonic, for example. Less than 1. Okay. That's fine. This is gonna be metallic. That's gonna be the ice boy. So we're definitely reading the whole belt, yeah? If I take this... I can definitely... like, place it here, yeah? So I want to try catching stuff from the sides if possible. So this is the total width of the ship. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And we'll have ammo. Alright. This trashy boy actually needs to go somewhere. And now this is kinda in the way. I'm a little worried here about this particular one. We'll add a bit more trash capacity to that. We'll do 100. Oh, sorry. We'll do 100. 100. 100. Metallic. Carbonic. That's fine. Right. So far, so good. Now, these turrets, they definitely cover the ship pretty well. We can put a couple here as well. This is probably overkill at this point. We can put a couple of them here. We'll lead the ammo in this direction. Okay, we're gonna sneak that past there. We'll swap that. We'll swap that. That's gonna go there. Okay. We are building a ton of ammo here. Like a ton. This is pretty compact. This is also fairly well defended. I don't think there's any... There's not that much weird stuff going on. I would like to try and cut this. These guys are 1700 tons, but they will reach... We have a lot of engines. So they will reach quite good speeds. Yeah, okay, so... That's not really any issues, right? No. Mostly we need some ice. Actually we can't do that. Everything else we can do. This kind of looks like shit. I don't like that. I also don't really like this empty space. Okay, there we go. I think once we start to get going... apparently we sent one of them too many somewhere else. Once we start to get going, this is gonna be fine. The question is what kind of speed we'll be able to reach and maintain. We could probably also do this. I don't know if we need it, to be fair. This should be fairly safe. It is mostly a fuel issue right now. You have 6 calcite. Yeah, okay, so we're getting 6 per craft, I guess. Are we getting any more ice anytime soon? Okay, like, the part that I like about this ship so far is the reactor design and this. They go really well together. We could really make something of that with a pretty compact cargo ship. The thing that I don't really like is this part up here and the explosive thing. I'm not sure how to deal with that. I need to have a little think of that. Because if we could slim this down a little bit, that would be kind of cool. I would also like to slim this down. We can make this fuel node here even more slim. That would be cool. I have a lot of power. Like, power is not a non-issue, I would say. I don't even think we can spike that high. Okay, so we are... Not really loaded up here with stuff yet, but that's unfortunate. Okay, we're gonna take a look at something else while we keep doing this. This here seems to be doing quite well. You can see some of these are stacking up. It's fine. I guess we have a lot of that. Okay, yeah. That's a bit... So we're doing 3 per minute, which is not great. On a kilo, we're almost ready to craft our first fusion reactors. This boy has went there and turned back, no damage at all. Just silently chugging along. This also has a lot of... Like, there's so much to improve on this. But it's working quite well. The thing that had me worried was this. But now that we're counting the asteroids properly, we're going like, okay, 300-400 over. Because I think we can catch so many at a time. But other than that, it's pretty fine. Yeah, so that's fine. And that has stacked up on calcite as well. I don't know if this is just inside the range or what. Okay. I don't know if I could improve something. Actually, maybe we would route this trash calcite past these 2 machines first. I don't know how we would do that here though, but you know, that would help to jumpstart it. It would not help with much else, unfortunately. This is not getting red for some reason. Oh, well, these 2 are connected, so that's that reason. But everything else is loaded up and primed, which is great. And nothing there. Okay. I'm gonna let this idle a bit, and then we'll test drive this next time. Because I don't know how long this is gonna take. But we did some improvements to this build. We did a new ship design. I have some degenerate ideas on maybe how we can make that even faster. This is getting closer. We have 30 out of 40 now, so soon we'll be able to do the uranium things like biolabs and so on. So that's going to be it for this episode. Thanks for watching and have a really nice day.